What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Too Many Opinions podcast.
Okay, this is Sarah.
And this is Jeannie.
Welcome back.
Welcome. So today we're going to get right into the topic. I'm not a mom, as some of you guys may know. Sarah is a mom, as some of you guys may know. And today I have a few questions as a non-mom to a mom.
I'm kind of nervous because even though I am a mom, I'm still a new mom. My son's only 1 year old, and that's my baby.
How time flies, huh?
Yeah, time flies. I remember giving birth, so there we go.
So there's a lot of controversial stuff going around surrounding moms. Kanye's out of the walls right now, even though I'm team Kanye every day, all day. There's a lot of things that's been going on, a lot of things that he's been saying that is kind of wild. So he's been very off the walls lately, and how do you feel about that?
If I was Kim, I would be completely stressed, okay? Because
she is.
Yeah, right? In his most recent interview, he had made something along the lines of, Kim is a 40-something-year-old mother of 4 black children, and she's over here wanting to show her ass on Vogue magazine.
Okay, first of all, let's dissect that. Do you think that a mom of 4 black children, let's just say 4 in general, should be showing her ass on Vogue?
That is okay. So I see it like kind of in 2 ways. I see it as one, she's a woman, and she was a woman before she was a mother. Okay. So before she had kids, she already had a lifestyle that she was used to, and how she would work and get money, and that was a part of it. And he knew that. And she was looked at as a sex symbol.
Yeah, he knew that. He knew that,
and he liked it. Yes. He liked it. He was into the big ass or fake ass. He was into all of that. He was all about dressing it up, making sure the ass looked good. Now they're not together, and it's an issue.
Right, because that's what happens in relationships. Like, it's all good till it's not
good, right? But now I say that, but I do feel like there were some episodes where Kanye wasn't comfortable in what she was wearing.
Yeah.
It was visible. It was visible that there was definitely some friction with her attire. So, back to your original question is, do I think that there's something wrong with that? No, because she's entitled to do whatever it is with her body, because like I said, she was a woman before she was a mother, so she can do what she wants. However, will your children see that when they get older? Yes. Maybe you're not worried about that.
No, because they're probably going to do the same damn thing too.
They probably are. However, this is the real however.
Okay.
Their friends in school are going to have a lot of ammunition to almost roast or talk about their mom. Would that cause bullying? Would that cause some sort of anxiety for her children? It very well could.
It could, but I just feel like there's so many other things that they're gonna probably be bullied for.
Right. I mean, it's that they're gonna be bullied that her mom has a sex tape. That's how she got famous. That's what everybody says, right?
Right.
Would I have put myself in a situation to know that I'm famous, I'm a celebrity, this is an outcome? I already have this sex tape that is constantly brought up. It's still talked about till today. I don't think that if I was her in that position, I wouldn't do it, because I already have all these other things that are constantly brought up and will be talked about in front of my children. At some point, they could be in junior high.
There was a point in an episode where she was freaking out because of another part of the sex tape coming out, and the freaking kids watching that.
So
I don't know. It's
tough.
It's sticky. I think that right now he's just saying a lot of things because he's bitter, and that's what sucks, because your children are also going to see that.
Yep.
Your children are also going to see you constantly attacking their mother. And you also knew that you were having children with a white person. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are different. However, I do agree with him when it comes to things not being fair. But at the same time, that comes with divorce. Like, for example, he wants his kids to go to a certain school. She wants them to go to a certain school. But then he's saying, well, it should be fair. It should be half and half. But you can't have kids half in one school one day and then half in the other. That doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like some need of compromise that needs to go on, and it's just looking real sticky
It is.
right
That is
now.
a sticky situation. And I feel like when it comes to children, you need to put your own personal feelings, no matter if you're bitter or not. And you need to focus on what is most important for your children, your child or your children.
Right.
And seeing the mother of your child or the father of the children stressed out, going through things, it affects the child.
It does.
It affects the child. Okay. So they need to figure it out. They need to get it together. And I feel like Kim does a good job, but she also, I feel like she has done things that has put Kanye in a situation to almost lose his shit. Like the whole birthday party thing.
Yeah.
That's not cool. Unless
But that's his side of the story, because then there's another side that it sounds like he's very wishy-washy, where he'll be like, nah, I don't want, I'm gonna do my own party. So then she'll do her party, and of course, if you say I'm gonna do my own party, I'm not gonna invite you to the party that I'm doing for my child if you're gonna have your own party anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So imagine if he said, I want to do my own party, and Kim goes, okay, I'm gonna pick a day, I'm gonna do my kid's party, and then all of a sudden now he's mad that he's not invited to that party. Like,
yeah, you can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both ways, and that's what it's sounding like right now. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It must be hard being a mother.
It is. It definitely is. There's a lot of tough decisions you have to make.
I don't know how you do it. There's like,
I don't think any of us know how we do it.
There's been circulating. You know, I'm very passionate when it comes to vaccines, or you know what I'm saying, like the vax. I'm not a mom, and it scares me because it's like, am I doing the right thing by not vaccinating my children? But the more research that I do on it, the more I'm like, hell no, we won't go. It's all right. And I think it was like in 05, kids would get 5 vaccines. In 1982, I think it was, or 83, you would get 27. Now, children are getting over 75 vaccines.
Yeah,
and we're not getting, like, it's like Candace Owens was saying on her podcast or whatever. Shouldn't we be getting healthier? Shouldn't there's more and more and more and more? And it's like, the problem that I have with this is that you don't know what your son will be allergic to once you get vaccinated, let's just say. So if you decide, okay, I'm going to do the polio vax, you don't know how that's going to react to, like, on your child. And if you have a vaccine injury, that's irreversible. And you can't sue, and you can't do nothing about it. Now, my question to you will be, when you were in the hospital, like, do you get to decide whether you vaccinate them beforehand, or do they make you decide right at birth? Because I actually attended my friend's birth, and she's all drugged up and feeling crappy, and it was immediate. Like, they were like, shut off your camera. That was already a red flag for me.
Yeah.
If you're not doing nothing wrong, why are you already telling me to shut off my camera when you're ready to vaccinate him? You had her sign papers while she's like under the influence of drugs, quickly, not even being able to read what she's signing, and it's like 5 vaccines, and like he hasn't even been born for a minute yet.
Yeah.
That is scary to me.
It is scary. And when you're a mom, something comes over you where you want the best for your child. So in that moment, the same thing happened to most parents, most new moms. You give birth, they weigh them, they check them, and they ask you, you can come up with a birth plan and be like, I don't want to vaccinate my children. Are you going to be persuaded? They're going to try, and they're going to give you numerous reasons as to why they should.
And they'll threaten you too. I'll call CPS if you don't do this, if you don't do that. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Your child can die.
And it's crazy because the vaccines that they get are for like hepatitis and a whole bunch of stuff, like those 5 vaccines, and they're like crucial because for me, and I know you're anti-vax, but I'm pro-vaccination, right? So my son has been vaccinated all the way through, minus like the COVID vaccine, right? And I've witnessed him take the vaccines and then have a reaction because your immune system is responding to those. So he's having a fever for a couple of days, or he's not feeling like himself, right? But then I believe in science, and I believe in what the doctors do, and the pharmaceutical companies, most, and I say most, are looking for the best interest because these scientists and these doctors are there trying to find cures.
Right.
However, in the same breath, I'm the first person to recognize that the pharmaceutical companies are mainly looking for money. So aside from being a mom, I just want to make the point that I do believe that there's cures for cancer, there's cures for AIDS, there's cure for all these uncurable diseases, but they refuse to let these vaccines or the medication come that would cure these people for multiple reasons. One, they're making money because these people have to receive treatment. So why would they try to cure people when they're receiving, they're getting paid to help them go through it? So why would they cure it?
Right.
And then I also believe that they do that for population control. And that's a very controversial statement, but it is what it is. That's what I see. They want to maintain population control. So they feel like if people get sick, it's going to.
But if you don't have Hep and your partner doesn't have Hep, why does my baby have to get that vaccine?
So you can get that. Say they're walking around in the house. They could step on something. There could be a toy that has metal in it. They bit it. And then you can get, right? Like your tetanus shot, things like that.
Guys. It does not. It's not adding up to me. It's kids are getting more and more shit each day. They're feeding them more and more pills each day. They're too hyper. They're allergic to everything in the face of the sun. It's just, we didn't have this growing up. There wasn't that much autism. There's barely any in DR. And that's a third world country. I'm not saying that listen, it's not that I'm against vaccines. I'm against you just vaccinated a baby that you don't know if that's going to affect them for the rest of their life. If there's science, why isn't there science for you to also do a pre-test on me to see if that's going to affect me?
So I feel like, so when it's like, when you're getting like chicken pox and polio or MMR, those are all things that can be spread in daycare from one unvaccinated child. So if one unvaccinated child comes in, and then let's just say my son has a low immune system and I didn't vaccinate him.
But your son should be all set. If my kid's unvaccinated and yours is, you shouldn't worry about mine. So because your son should be all set.
But if my son wasn't vaccinated, now we have two unvaccinated children, right? And they both get chicken pox. They're going to get it worse and have a harder time fighting the chickenpox virus than the children who get it, who are vaccinated, which could put them at potential of death.
But that should be my decision.
Absolutely.
You know what
absolutely,
I'm saying?
100%. 100%.
And then that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't feel like my biggest thing is, how can we make a test where you also, before you inject my child with all these chemicals, you know if that's gonna give my son an adverse reaction. You don't know that.
There should be tests.
God forbid you inject my child, I can't sue you, and now I'm fucked for the rest of my life because I have a sick child.
Yeah. No, I agree. There's science enough that there should be something that should be able to tell you what your child, based off their genetics, their blood type, what they could be at potential risk for. And then you should be able to make a decision as to what vaccines you want to give them.
That's my point.
Meaning, like, if there would be more at risk to chickenpox or MMR, which is, I think, measles, mumps, and rubella, or whatever, you can make that educated decision. Right now, I don't feel like parents or new parents are being educated enough to make that decision. It's just being forced upon us, and then we don't know any better. Yeah. And then you're in the moment where you're in almost fight or flight, where you want to protect your child.
Right, and if that's all they're telling you and that's all you know, that's what you're going to decide for.
Right, so it's like, that's a hard decision. And it's like, for you, I feel like because you haven't had children yet, you are able to do enough research to make that educated decision.
Right.
And when I was pregnant, I would be lying to you if I sat here and said that I even thought about not vaccinating my child. It didn't cross my mind that
Yeah,
once.
that's never, even growing up, that never crossed my mind. So my cousin had a son that had a vaccine injury and now has autism because of it. A perfectly healthy child that was perfectly alert, that you would call his name and he would look at you. And then all of a sudden, he gets vaccinated and now he doesn't look at you. He doesn't respond. He barely... you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just... we need to learn. This is my message. We need to start doing more research, because just because you've been taught that all your life doesn't mean that that's true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's evil in this world. Money rules everything. And if I'm a pharmaceutical and I know that by injecting something to your son that's going to give him hyper HDH, whatever the heck it's called, and now I'm also making money feeding your kid to be a zombie, to relax all day.
Right.
They're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? That this is why also America, and this is going to be very controversial, a lot of the things I stay watching on TikTok, I don't know if you see the people from the British people, how they're constantly saying, oh, we don't have this food, or we don't have, and they stay trying American things, and they love for the most part, they love everything they eat from America, but that's banned in their country. You know what I'm saying? Because how all the toxins that it has. You know what I'm saying? This country is free and it's good, but it's also the fucking devil.
I agree with that. And I also think it's very interesting that you see online that people will go to Europe who have gluten allergies, who have all these, or lactose allergies, all these things, and they will go to Europe, France, Italy, whatever.
Eat the same thing.
Eat the same thing, fresh out the cow, whatever, and have no reaction. That literally, like, how is that possible?
And it goes the same as to what, like, we're doing with our healthcare.
Yeah, that's
insane.
crazy.
I'm telling you, Sarah, one day I'm gonna take you to DR, and I want you to see a 1-year-old, and you're gonna compare, and you're gonna see what I mean. They're like adults. It's like they're eating organic, because it's not only vaccine, there's also the food that we're consuming.
Yeah.
Even when you're pregnant, because that can
absolutely
mess you up, because whatever you eat, right, goes directly to your child. It's the food we eat. It's just so much, and I just don't know how you do it as a parent, because there's so much pressure, and it gives me anxiety because I don't have kids, and I'm like, when I do have them, what the hell am I gonna do?
It feels like you kind of turn into like a hover mom.
Yeah.
You always want to protect them.
You don't want to give them McDonald's. You don't want to give them this. But then society makes it hard for you not to have to buy McDonald's for your kid one day.
Yeah.
Because you're busy. You're tired. You're working. It's like always nonstop. So it's like, moms, I give it up to you. I don't know how you do it.
It's a full-time job. And the stay-at-home moms who are working remote, who are maintaining the household, cooking, you have like 4 jobs. It is not easy. It is not easy. Wow. And when you go on social media, they make it look like it's a walk in the park.
No, dead ass.
The joke's on you. If you're thinking about having children and getting pregnant and you go based on what you see on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, that's all a lie.
Hell no.
Don't believe the shit that you see online, because that's not what it is. You are going to be up all night with your child, trying to sleep train them, or God forbid they get sick. My son just recently was so sick, poor thing. And that was the worst 2 weeks of my life. I felt so helpless. I felt like I couldn't do anything because I couldn't cure him.
Yeah.
He couldn't eat. All he did was sleep all day. He didn't talk.
And
he
I
didn't
would
walk.
call her, and she was trying to work, and he's like, Wah! In the background. But the poor kid is like suffering. You don't know what to do. You're sleep deprived, so you can't even think correctly.
I was like delirious, because I'm up on every 4 hours, 6 hours for medication and make sure that he's not in pain or
we gotta be kinder to our moms.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm sure we'll have an episode for dads one day, but right now we're talking about moms, and we have to be kinder. It goes back to Kanye. Be kinder to like the mother of your children, bro. Like,
be kind, and moms, be kind to yourself. You guys are doing so much, and I say that because I am the worst critic on myself.
Yeah, you are.
Oh my God, I am so hard on myself when it comes to being a mom, because I want to give him the very best that I possibly can. And to think that I could have done something better or handled something differently kills me inside.
But also you need to know that you have to take care of yourself, because if you're not good, then your son's not going to be good no matter what you do. I'm not saying don't put your kid first, because you have to. But at the same time, in that same accord, you have to kind of put yourself too at the same standard, because if you're not good, he'll never be good.
It's true. It's so true. And
but I'm not a mom. So it's easier for me to be like, oh, put yourself first. And I'm not a mom. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I would do in that situation.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Today's a great example as well, because I was even up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I work a part-time, and I was up since 4, started working at 6, played with him. You know what I mean? And then it's just been go, 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 go. So it's like, just reiterate, be kind to yourself, love yourself. And obviously your child is your number one priority, but it is not easy.
Think about having, this is going to be very cliche, but please, like, do your research before you have kids. Think about it very well. Calculate calculations, money, everything that goes into play. Don't keep bringing children up in this world to give them a mediocre life.
I agree.
Basically what most of us had growing up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Go to therapy. Handle your inner child things before you bring another child to this world, because even subconsciously, you could fuck them.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And just since we're talking about this, it really brings me to think of teen moms.
Bro.
Teen moms.
I was wilding at 22. I was wilding at 22. Imagine 15.
Yeah. And then I think to myself, I'm 31. I'm going to be 32. And I give absolutely everything I can. I want to make sure my son has the best life possible. And I think as a 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old mom, how do these women do it?
And for
these kids.
For the most part, it never works out with their partner. So now you're doing it alone.
So I'm like, how could they don't even know who they are as people? How are they managing? I know you figure it out. You do. You get like a mother's intuition. You learn. It's
something that comes with
it. Comes. It just it hits you. And people say that, and you're like, oh, I hope so. No, but it really does. But at the same time, it's like you don't even know what it's like to be an adult or how to figure things out. And now you're not only learning how to figure things out as a young mom, but as a person too. So it's like you're almost having an identity crisis because you don't even know who you are. And now you're a mom and you have to care for this little human who counts on you and relies on you.
Have you regretted motherhood at any point?
Oh my gosh. Regretted motherhood. That is such a crazy topic. And it's so frowned upon to even like talk about that.
It's like taboo.
It is. It's so taboo. Never regretted motherhood. I just was unprepared at what motherhood really is.
Ooh, the reality of it.
Yes.
Outside the glitz and the glam.
Outside the glitz and the glam, having just a cute little baby, having pictures. It is the most beautiful thing in this world, being a mother. Hearing mama first thing in the morning, calling you from the crib. Like, oh my God, my heart explodes every single day. But I just didn't know. I didn't know. And I'm an adult. I'm a full-grown woman here. And I had no idea what motherhood really was.
Wow.
It was an eye-opening experience, life-changing for the better, obviously. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I have a little best friend. You know what I mean? Like, always with me, following me, my little tail. But, wow, holy cow, I did not know.
It's hard.
I did not know. I didn't. And it's like, thank God for Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel, if you ever see this clip, I love you. I appreciate you. My son loves you. We learned because I didn't know. You're not given a handbook when you're a mom.
Right. And everything's different.
Everything's different. So it's like you know what you want to give your child for like how you want them raised and whatnot. And you take what you know and try to do better than what you were given. But then there's other things you don't know. Do you know by 18 months, they're supposed to know 20 gestures or something?
Excuse me?
I was like, I didn't know that.
But something about you is that you'll see that, you'll read that, and then freak out if he knows 15 and not the 18. I'm like, Sarah, relax.
I'm literally going, no. Now I'm over here
Not
teaching
only
him.
that,
I'm like, whatever.
If you have even 2 children, they're completely different people. So you have to go at the pace of the child too. Again, I'm not a mom, but this is what I'm thinking.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was just with 2 little twins yesterday, 2 baby twins, and they're one just likes to dance, and the other one just sits and eats. And they came out at the same room,
time.
same thing. You know what I'm saying? And they're just completely different. So every kid, I hate how everything's like statistically, like, oh well, yeah, but like not every kid is the same. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the same thing that goes back to the vax. Not everybody is the same. You don't know how people are gonna react. So moms, be kind to yourself. You're doing the best you can. And every decision you make for your child is the right decision.
Yes, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to look out for your child more than you will. When they say mama bear, that is a true statement. And even to the extent of the way you look at things changes. When you're getting into the car and you're with your child and you just went grocery shopping and you might be by yourself for this trip or you're doing something alone with just your child, you see the world totally differently. You're on literally flight or fight the whole time because you're overlooking your shoulder. Is someone going to try to
take my kid?
Take the both of us? So you're just constantly overprotective and trying to make sure nothing happens to this perfect little human that God had given you. So it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. Things you never expect.
I hope I'm a mom whenever I'm ready to be a mom because...
Sweetheart, you're never going to be ready. So whoever hears this, when they say you'll know when you're ready, you're never going to be ready because you are going to learn every step of the way.
As you go,
As you go. And the time you're going to be ready is when God gives you the blessing. That's it. Because you figure it out and you learn. There's no perfect timing. Whoever said there's a perfect timing for kids, you're lying. Because even when you have your kid,
but you can be more prepared than a 15-year-old.
You can be financially prepared
and mentally.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna think you're mentally prepared. You're gonna think you're mentally prepared, and then you're gonna have a crazy ass night or whatever, or who knows, teething. You're gonna go through a teething stage. Ugh. And girl, brace yourself. You call me and we're gonna talk. We're gonna laugh at it later. But in the moment, we're gonna be stressed. I'm gonna come with like some popsicles or something. I'm gonna come try to help you out. I'm gonna be like, girl, I remember those days. Yeah, shot of tequila. Jeez. So yeah, motherhood is definitely something crazy, and I look forward to getting to watch you experience that when your time.
I'm excited you went through it first. Right. That way I have my questions for you, because I say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I'll probably do all the opposite of what I said I was gonna do. So,
that could possibly happen. It'll come soon. Absolutely.
So yeah, guys, today that was basically it for this friggin' episode. It was just me just inquiring about certain topics that are kind of controversial, and my advice to moms, even though I'm not a mom, is do the best you can. Do the best honestly. You can. Love yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Love yourself and love your child, because at the end of the day, every child deserves happy mommy and happy daddy. And then they will see that and be able to give the same back into the world. Don't have them if you're not ready, please. Okay? Period. All right. Cool. See you guys later. Bye. Bye.